A shocking move has happened in the MLB, and the Dodgers are about to break the MLB with the set of moves that is coming in the future of this year's free agency. We're going to be breaking it down, going over a recent Blue Jays move and how this has serious implications for this Dodgers free agency, and also at this point right now, years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. If you're looking for all of your Los Angeles Dodgers news, we have a lot of stuff to cover, and with things happening yesterday and free agency, in my opinion right now, officially opened, the Dodgers are set to make some serious moves, and we're going to be covering everything that happens here for the Dodgers on the channel. It is 100% free, so be sure to hit that sub button if you haven't already. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to jump straight into this, because going into yesterday and going now, of course, into this morning, today, things are heating up on the market as one of the biggest names has already gone off the board. And we're going to pull this up here from Jeff Passan. Right-hander Dylan Cease and the Toronto Blue Jays are in agreement for a 7-year, $210 million contract, pending a physical. Sources tell ESPN the American League champions get one of the best arms in the free agent market. Now, you're probably asking, Kirk, why does this matter for the Dodgers? Doesn't this hurt us? No. Dylan Cease, yes, great arm, great pitcher, phenomenal. But $210 million, I believe, is the biggest contract right now on the Blue Jays, and that means a few things going forward. We know they have been linked to just about every single free agent the Dodgers have been as well. Mainly two, Bichette and Kyle Tucker. This has some serious kind of implications for the Blue Jays as well, because are they able to, and now this is the biggest question, are they able to even go out and sign anybody else? This team has not spent a lot of money. The Blue Jays, not a team that spends a lot of money compared to the Dodgers. Now, they're going to get there. They should be able to due to their owners. But as of right now, this being the biggest, how is that ownership feeling about spending more money? We know the Dodgers, they love it. Whatever they can do to win. Seems like we're the only organization in baseball that has that mindset. But going into today, this opens some major doors, not just for this Dodgers team now, with two of their biggest names specifically for this team in Kyle Tucker and Bichette, even more likely now at this point, regardless of how likely they are, to end up in a Los Angeles Dodgers uniform. And I want to take a look at something just very quick. When we do take a look at Kyle Tucker's contract, he's projected $40 million per season, but you look at the market value, I have it highlighted there for his full 10-year projected contract. 10 years, $400 million. Third ranked in the MLB, first ranked in right field. How many times a season for the history of baseball have you seen a team spend north of $600? And what would need to be more if they wanted both Bo and Kyle Tucker? This takes them out of the contention for at least one of them, if not both. And it would depend on what the Blue Jays want to do and what their game plan is for the rest of their MLB free agency as well. We know they're probably going to go after a bullpen player, maybe a position player. So are the Dodgers. But the Dodgers now have that upper hand of being able to grab whoever they want and be able to offer more money than what is probably and arguably over the next couple of seasons going to be their biggest rival. And from the series we saw in the World Series, I love it. As competitive as this series can be, let's do it. Let's have it. How much fun that was is astronomical, even though the nerves were there. This is a very good-looking future for this rivalry. And I would love to see two powerhouses go at it, because we know the Dodgers are going to add, and especially now with that, the biggest question still remains, are the Blue Jays even capable of adding more? And I'll say this, they should, because when you look at their ownership group from Rogers Communications, they had a revenue of $20 billion in 2024, so they should be able to, and they should add more. And, that's been a big question for them over the past couple of seasons. Are they going to? Will their ownership actually do it? And I feel like now that they made the World Series, saw what comes out of it, they're going to be doing so. So I wouldn't count out that they're going to go after another Kyle Tucker, a Bo Bichette, a Cody Bellinger, whoever it may be. But this at least takes them out of one, for sure, no doubt. Because when you look at those two, will a $400 million Kyle Tucker and what would be a maybe high 200, low $300 million Bo Bichette on top of that Dylan Cease contract, that's almost $1 billion American. We know they're in Canadian dollars. That's completely out the window for them. So this gives the Dodgers a serious opportunity here heading into what is going to be now the start of free agency that the first domino has dropped. So right now, the biggest question for me, and the one that I'm going to ask you, as well as another one here in a moment, what do you think the future holds for the Dodgers? Do you think it is a Bo Bichette? Do you think now they're going to pivot this entire mindset to Bo Bichette? Do you still think it's a Kyle Tucker? Because when we go to this outfield, there's no doubt that some help will be needed there. Of course, I trust these guys 100%. But Kyle Tucker is a player that you cannot pass up on if given the opportunity. A guy like him, adding him into this outfield on this super power of a team would simply be, elevate your status from the best team in baseball to one of the best teams ever. So given that thought, as well as going into, what the future holds for this team as a whole over the, next decade, I think is a big question that they want to answer as well. What is going to be their mindset? Is it going to be Kyle Tucker? Is it going to be Bo Bichette? Is it going to be someone else that the Blue Jays maybe had their mind on? Now, pivoting to the Dodgers because they can get more money there. Like I said, Kyle Tucker, very, very hard to pass up. But even when you're looking at this from Jim Bowden on Sunday's front office show, he simply put it, they're in on Kyle Tucker, and boy, are they in. That was on the Blue Jays, and added that Mark Shapiro, Ross Atkins, and are directly involved. Kind of top-level engagement that usually signals a real shot at closing. But at this point right now, you'd have to assume Sunday, which was only, a couple days ago at this point, they knew that Dylan Cease was going to be an option. So this puts my mindset back to them being at least one more top target. But the money is going to be a real question of how much they can and the owners are willing to spend, because regardless of what's happening now, the Dodgers should be that much further into the door, the checkbook out, you're listing off your top targets, calling them one by one, and you go through that list until you can confidently make sure that you are going to be owning these guys over a Toronto Blue Jays team that questions are still there. How much are they really willing and going to spend? But I think the biggest thing here is between two options for the Dodgers. I think that their bullpen is going to be figured out. I don't think this is going to be on their bigger spending side of things. You have the outfield. Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, two options. The other one, the infield. Second base primarily. And when you look at it right now, Hyesung Kim is currently slotting in there at second base. Tommy Edman, of course, could also be there. Max Muncy on third. Mookie on short, and of course, Freddie on first, with Alex Freeland likely getting him some playing time, whether that is second, short, or third. But when you look at Bo Bichette, and given his options right now, in 8 years, $186 million is his projection, 23.3 per season. This is one that I think the Blue Jays could do. And of course, you never know if Bo Bichette would be willing to take a hometown discount, or hometown, the team that drafted him, the team that brought him up through the system. That is a possibility. But when we look at an option like Kyle Tucker, upwards of $400 million, that's really where the numbers start to get, in my opinion at least, way too big for the Blue Jays. I think their choice is really between Bo Bichette or Kyle Tucker, and everybody else is fair game for the Dodgers. And you know that there's going to be a bidding war on Bo Bichette if available, so you have to put that into consideration as well. So I want to ask you guys one more question before we do finish this video off, and taking a look at this. Would you rather Kyle Tucker or Bo Bichette, given either option? Let me know in the comments below. Give me a T for Kyle Tucker or a B for Bo Bichette. Genuinely curious, because I can't even really make a prediction right now. Who would win on this kind of polling side of things? Who would you guys want? I feel like both have their benefits. Kyle Tucker probably, for me at least, is the better player that I would rather. But given the opportunity, I think that will really sway the chart for the Dodgers here. But Ladies and gentlemen, free agency now is officially underway. The first big domino has fallen. Assets are falling. Teams are going to get desperate. Expect a Dodgers move soon, but that's only a matter of time until we see it. And you know we're going to have it here on the channel. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. Join us on the channel. Me and Jace are covering everything Dodgers, and we have a lot of stuff coming now that this first piece has fallen. We're going to have more videos coming out today and tomorrow, but with yesterday's move, things are heating up, so be sure to stick around. But that's all I got here. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. See you later.